What's up everyone, my name is Repel. We have an Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. Take a good look at my opponent's team. Yes, he's bringing a mono Evee-lution team. He's packing the Flareon, the Sylveon, the Leafeon, the Jolteon, the Umbreon, and Espeon. And I'm packing the Tentacruel, Galvantula, Miltank, Hippowdon, Doublade, and Noivern. Take a good look at his team, it's pretty frightening. I do want to set up sticky webs with my Galvantula, but should I? Is that really a smart play? Because my opponent has the Espeon. I gotta watch out for that Espeon. Until that Espeon is taken care of, I'm not gonna be setting up sticky webs anytime soon. So, in fact, he does lead off with the Espeon, and you know, Espeon is weak to weak to bug, but I was just like, let's just go with Tentacruel. I can maybe, you know, start setting up. Not sure if he's actually gonna go for the sidekick, so instead I just went for the straight up attack, because I really wanted him to actually attack me first instead of set up any screen. Doesn't really matter though, he set up the light screen instead of the reflect. And now he decides to go for the sidekick, and I know I can take it well, but that's not the point here. I wanted to take a super effective move just so I can take my weakness policy, and that'll raise my attack by 2 stages. So naturally it'll finish off this Espeon. It's pretty darn sweet. Down goes the Espeon. And here comes the Jolteon now. Obviously Jolteon will outspeed me. I haven't set up webs yet, so I was just like, okay, well, let me just switch back out to Tentacruel. I know it's kind of a waste since I already used my weakness policy, but you know, Tentacruel is still very useful. Expecting a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch, I switch into Hippowdon. And even if this Jolteon has like HP Ice, my Hippowdon will take it so fucking well. So I actually just thought maybe I should just set up curses, but of course he does have the Umbreon. Naturally, Umbreon and Sylveon are probably the 2 biggest walls in this team, and they can potentially use Toxic on me. So yes, the Sandstorm is up, but and I am at +1 attack and defense, but I'm still not sure if I should stay in, because I don't want to get poisoned. I am a bulky sweeper, and last thing I want is to be badly poisoned. So I go into Miltank expecting a Toxic. You know, I do have that heal bell. Turns out he has Swagger. Haven't seen Swagger in the longest time. Simply because Swagger is banned mostly, but hey, I don't really mind it. It's refreshing to see Swagger once in a while, as long as it's not being used by Klefki. So now, I have 2 things I can do. I can simply just go for a Body Slam to paralyze it, or I can go for a Toxic. I thought, let's go for a Toxic. Yes, he does have Synchronize, but I don't really care. But I miss my Toxic, and he lands his Toxic, so yeah, things are not looking too well here. Off the bat, I already have terrible luck. So I am not just badly poisoned, but I am confused too. Dual statuses. While this Umbreon is still doing relatively okay. As you'll see, this Umbreon was a major roadblock in this video because, well, Umbreon is Umbreon. I don't have a fighting type, so naturally, yeah, this Umbreon is going to kick my ass. And of course, knowing Repel Games, I hit myself in confusion, and my attack has been boosted 2 stages, so that foul play actually does quite a lot of damage. I really wanted to get at least a poison on him or simply a heal bell, but unfortunately, that is not happening, and 1 more foul play will destroy me, so I have to switch out. And I'm gonna go to Noivern now. Noivern doesn't really have high attack, so he'll take a foul play pretty darn well, and that's exactly what my opponent does go for. And my Noivern, this shiny Noivern, I actually am going to go for a switcheroo. I'm carrying the choice specs, but I'm gonna go for a switcheroo. But he does go into Sylveon. I mean, why wouldn't he, right? Expecting like a dragon move, but yeah, I do give him the choice specs and I give him the Rocky Helmet. Not sure if that's a great switch. I really wanted to swap with the Umbreon instead, but yeah. Expecting the Pixelite Hybrid Voice, I have no choice but go into Doublade, but with choice specs, that actually does quite a good amount. That did what, like 40%, and it's a 3-hit KO. It's my second hit, and I have no choice to go for the Iron Head, and obviously Sylveon is physically defensive here, and I have no choice but to go for that Shadow Sneak, but it's not going to be quite enough to kill, and he will finish off my Doublade. So yeah, Choice Specs Pixelate Sylveon is not to be fucked with, guys. Gotta be really careful with them. So I thought it's a great opportunity for me to go into Sticky Webs now. I am carrying the Focus Sash, and I'm pretty sure that Choice Specs Hybrid Voice will bring me to my stash. But that's not the point, because, you know, I got my webs up, finally. Obviously, it's going to be a huge deal to my opponent's team since he has no Flying type. There's no Flying type Eevee, not yet at least. And I do finish it off with my Thunder. Good thing I didn't miss, right? Now here comes the Umbreon now. Very ballsy of him, because I'm just going to go for the Bug Buzz. I have 1 HP, you know, I'm just like, let's just let my Galvantula die. He's done enough. And I'm just going to do as much as I can. Turns out this Umbreon is not even especially defensive. Look at that. That Bug Buzz did over half, and he over-predicted and thought I was going to switch out, but no. That's a huge misplay, and yeah. 1 more Bug Buzz will finish off this Umbreon, even if he has leftovers, if I don't hit myself in confusion. But, of course, Repel Games always hit himself in confusion, so if you guys ever challenge me to a fight, remember to always use Confuse Ray or Swagger on me, because I always hit myself in confusion every fucking time. Always. So, that's a huge tip for you guys. Naturally, I'm going to go for that Heal Bell now. I know I can take 1 Foul Play, and I do cure myself, and my opponent does confidently go for the Foul Play, but it is not quite enough to kill. No, it is not. So naturally, not only do I outspeed him, but yes, I do carry the Milk Drink. Of course I do. What kind of Miltank is not carrying the Milk Drink? I get over half of my HP, and I finally dodged his Toxic. It's about damn time, you know? Hey, I missed my Toxic, so my opponent has to miss at least once. So here I'm going to go for Toxic now, and yes, he does have Synchronize. You know, all Umbreons usually carry Synchronize, but that's okay, because we already know this Umbreon does not have Synchronize, because, I mean not Synchronize, but he doesn't have Heal Bell, because he has Toxic, Swagger, Wish, yeah, and Foul Play, so definitely no Heal Bell, so that's great. I finally landed my Toxic, but at the same time, his Foul Play is going to do a huge butt-ton, but luckily I did not hit myself in confusion. Had I hit myself in confusion, I would have done a lot of damage, and his Foul Play could have potentially killed me. His Foul Play here is going to do quite a fucking ton anyways, so good thing I did not hit myself. So I guess my luck has bounced back just a little bit in this part of the battle, but as you'll see, this Umbreon is still at full HP. But he is still adamant about staying in, trying to take out my Miltank. I'm like, alright, that's fine. He's probably gonna go for, you know, Foul Play or something, right? So I'm gonna go into Hippowdon now. My Hippowdon has massive defenses, so obviously Foul Play's not gonna do too much. And not to mention, you know, it's good to set up my Sandstorm too, so that he'll have even more residual damage. He'll be damaged by Toxic and Sandstorm. Now, I'm really expecting this Toxic. I mean, if I were the Umbreon, I would go for the Toxic ASAP. Simply because there's really no point for going for Swagger for the Hippowdon. Because if he goes for the Swagger on me, I mean, I'm just going to wreck him with like an Earthquake or something. So I'd rather not. I don't want to deal with being Toxic. So I'm going to go into Tentacruel. Not to mention that'll stall him out. But he actually went for a Swagger. So technically, I could have actually stayed in with Hippowdon. But yeah, I mean, I thought differently. I mean, wouldn't a natural person just go for a Toxic over Swagger? I'm not too sure, but I guess my opponent really loves using Swagger. I mean, why wouldn't you? Swagger is a great move after all. It's so great that, yeah, that unfortunately Smokin has banned it. But we are not playing Smokin rules today, no sir. So I'm gonna have to go back into Miltank now. And, you know, I think I could take 1 Foul Play, but then I realized I'm not really sure if I could, and even if I could, the Sandstorm would have killed me, but regardless, I just, you know, let my Miltank die. Not that it really matters anymore, because this Umbreon is pretty much gone for good. He's been staying in for like, I don't know, X amount of turns, and look at that, that Toxic is going to destroy him. So, naturally, he is just gonna have to stay in and let me revenge kill him. So, was that really a good trade-off? I'm not sure. But I'm so glad Umbreon is finally out of the way. And yes, so Sandstorm is up and Tentacruel is barely hanging on to life, and here comes the Leafeon now. Now, Leafeon has actually quite a good amount of defenses. So I don't think one poison jab is gonna be enough to kill Leafeon. So I was just like, okay. Let's go into Noivern now. I'm totally expecting Leaf Blade. You know, if I can switch into something that resists Leaf Blade 4 fucking times, why the hell not? And as a matter of fact, he does go for a Leaf Blade. He gets a crit too. It's great. But he gets hurt by Rocky Helmet and Life Orb, so I guess that's kind of sweet. And the Sandstorm does fade away, so technically I do have a higher chance of landing my Hurricane, but I still don't want to miss it. So I just went for the Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor would have been suffice enough too. I do have Flamethrower. I think Flamethrower is enough to kill Leafeon from that range too, but keep in mind my opponent does have that Flareon, so yeah, rather not. Now my special attack has been dropped twice, 2 fucking stages, so I have to switch out. I don't know what kind of Flareon this is, you know, there's like specially defensive Flareon, there's Choice Banded Flareon, and there's like Toxic Orb Flareon. I mean, all fucking Flareon is fucking crazy. Luckily, it's not a defensive Flareon, so naturally it does not Will-O-Wisp. He does go for the Flame Charge, trying to get his speed up, so that, you know, he'll be outspeed everything and probably sweep. That's his plan. I know that because I have a Flareon exactly identical to this. It has Flame Charge, it has Toxic Orb, and of course it has that Guts Boosted Facade. But even a Guts Boosted Facade is not gonna do jack shit. And that Flareon will go down. Actually, now that I think about it, the Flare Blitz might actually kill me. A Stab Flare Blitz does do a little bit more than Facade. But here comes the Jolteon now. Now I'm pretty sure this Jolteon does not know HP Ice. So his best bet is actually Shadow Ball, and Hippowdon will actually take it like a fucking champ and go for his second Earthquake, and of course that will take care of this Jolteon. So Hippowdon tanking all kinds of hits and finishing off the game. That's a really sweet team and battle. My fellow opponent, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I love seeing Mono Evee-lution team. I love seeing it so much. It's always refreshing to fight them, so give a huge thumbs up to my opponent. And if you guys like this battle, well, give a huge thumbs up, right? And also to comment and subscribe. Thank you all for watching.